I hope you're having a great Wednesday today. I'm not, but that's what I'm here to talk about is seasonal depression. When you have bipolar, you already have depression, and when you have borderline personality disorder, I think you can also have some depression and mood issues within that as well. So winter is not a great time for me. Um, I just get really depressed. I just woke up at, I think it was around 4 o'clock this afternoon. I know that I stayed up late last night, and it's just kind of a pattern that I have of staying up late and then getting up late. Going to bed early in the morning, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 5:30. I keep myself going on my computer for hours. I find things to do. And if I get bored with that, then I go sit in my recliner and I watch TV and usually fall asleep there. Well, what happens when you fall asleep for a few hours and wake up and you go, oh, it's a new day. Let's stay up for hours because you're not tired. So I end up doing that. Like I said in my other video, I end up cooking at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning because I'm hungry. And we usually only eat once a day because we live on fixed income. We grocery shop once a month. We normally don't pick up any food extra during the month. So we have what we have. And it's like an animal. You get hungry enough, you'll eat it. So yeah, I woke up late, went out. Well, I took care of just Java, my little bearded dragon, because she's just a baby. And the other two are older, and they only need to be fed a couple times a week, not as often. So I fed her, and she was hungry, which doesn't surprise me. She's, like I said, just a baby, and it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and usually she's used to getting fed 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. So she gets pretty pissed. Not really. She's pretty sweet. She's getting sweeter. And the other two are just kind of hiding, and I don't know if it's too hot or why they are taking shelter instead of gaping. They may be brumating, which is a reptile's way of hibernating. The temperatures drop to a certain temperature, and then they go into hibernation, in essence. They all don't, just sometimes they do. So I know I talked yesterday about trying to do a video in the daylight. You can see it's not daylight. It's 5, I think it's almost 5:30. David was out painting in the garage, and I asked him why he's painting. It's almost winter, and he's not going to be spending any time out there. So, well, I guess I gave him something to do and let me sleep, because you don't want to wake me up. Waking me up is like waking a hibernating bear up. You don't want to do that. It's not a good idea. And I used to not be like that. I used to sleep light. I used to wake up at, anything. And now I don't. I don't know if it's the medication or if it's because I'm getting older. Whatever. So I call it depression on depression, which is seasonal depression on top of the depression you already have. And it just makes you not want to do anything. Not cook, not anything. Nothing. You just turn stale, like a saltine. Saltine on a hot summer humid day. No, you just don't want to do anything. you have no desire to do anything but sleep or sit around and watch TV or make YouTube videos, which is not true because I really didn't want to make this one. I'm like, oh, I'll just skip a day. But if you go back to my other videos, I said I would do one a day. So here it is. And I had a topic of seasonal depression. I even got one of those sun lamps and tried that, and all it did was blind me. It didn't make me any happier. Maybe I need 2 of them or a bigger one. I don't know. But I got that a couple years ago, and I tried it, and I didn't see any difference. They say spend time outside. Well, when it's mother friggin' cold out, actually didn't swear. But, if it's really cold out, I don't want to spend time outside. It says that it's 75, I think, in here right now. And as you can see, I'm wearing my flannel. I'm cold. Yeah. And I went and stood out in the garage and finally got cold enough that I'm going in. I'm going to go do my video. So I'm doing my video. I also hear clank, 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 clank. What the fuck is that? Here he's inside in the kitchen, probably cleaning his paintbrush. I said, what are you doing in here? I told you I was going to do my video while you were out. And the kitchen is all the way across the house. So I had to wait for the water to stop running. And, no, I've got COVID. No, that was the running joke for the first 3 years. Every time we coughed. COVID. Not to think we think COVID's a joke exactly. It's just that we are both relatively healthy. I say relatively because he has COPD, but not really severe. He used to have that night thing. My brain is like on off today. I only took my Xanax. I didn't take any of my other morning medications because I figured I'll just take them tonight, which they're completely different medications. I didn't want to be groggy the rest of the day. I was groggy all night, the whole time I was sleeping. So I'm not going to take them and then take them a couple hours later. This is the second time now that I've done that. I always feel better when I don't take them. I mean, yeah, I do feel the depression coming on. It's sneaking in, and I just don't give a shit. There's nothing they can do. They can't give me an antidepressant because I'm bipolar. So I just gotta kind of roll with it and be mopey, be depressed. I hear a dog barking that I'm gonna kill because I cannot stand barking dogs. And in this town, that's all it is barking dogs. We have one that barks. And guess what he's got? He got an early Christmas present. He got a barking collar. And if anybody gets around to putting it on him, he won't bark. And I understand dogs bark, cats meow, horses neigh, blah blah blah. I can't stand a barking dog. It is not just a little barking, it's where it's continuous barking for no reason. Oh, I mean, Peanut usually has a reason. There's this guy who drives past on a moped, and he's a fucking asshole because Peanut will bark. If this guy goes one way and Peanut barks at him, he'll yell at him. And today he went the other way, and the neighbor dog barked at him, and he bitched at him. And it was like, go a different way then. And if I would ever catch him yelling at the dogs, he would have an issue with me. Because go a different way. Or shut the fuck up. They're on their property. They're secure. They're not going to come after you. Even though I wish the one would. He goes after cars. Our neighbor dog across the street. He goes after cars. He prefers white cars or red cars. But any car will do, usually. And he goes after the cars, not the people. You can walk your dog past him. I have gone over there numerous times, and he's a perfectly sweetheart dog. He just likes to chase cars. He's a herding dog, so that would explain a lot. But it's funny. It's like, dude. And we joke about it with his owner. What would happen if he ever caught one? It's one time he didn't realize he was off his chain, and he kind of ran into the car and left a dent. So we think it's pretty funny. I always forget his name, the dog, always. But with my anxiety, I grew up with dogs. I grew up with big dogs. Never did we have a little dog, ever. And I grew up with big dogs, so I was never afraid of dogs. I used to volunteer at the shelters. I've done dog rescue. I've been around dogs my whole life. But at some point, I don't know when it kicked in, but I became afraid of dogs. I'm afraid of getting bitten. I'm afraid of dogs. I have 4 dogs of my own, but I know them, and they're my dogs. And if they hurt me, they're going to sleep. And if they bite anybody else, they're going to have the same fate. Biting is not tolerable. 0 tolerance. There's never an excuse. I mean, okay, I will make an exception. If you hurt my dog and my dog bites you, it's on you. My dog is not going anywhere. And my dogs, I mean, we've got a golden doodle, golden retriever, long-haired miniature dachshund. He's the one I would worry about the most because he's, an ankle biter. But then Polly, who's 2 whole pounds, I don't think she could fit anything but your finger in her mouth. And I worry more about our black. Well, which cat do we have that bites? I thought we had a cat that bites. No, I don't remember. But I would not. I mean, I worry more about my bearded dragons biting than anything. And it's so funny because, like, people come over, or at our old place, people would come over to visit, and I would take my bearded dragon, and they're like Velcro. You just put them on their chest, and they'll stay there. So I wouldn't know about how they feel, the person would feel. So I'd take my bearded dragon, and I would just right on their chest, and they'd be like, "Get it off of me, get it, I don't want that fucking thing on me. What'd you do that for?" And I would get an ass chewing. And it's like, oh, I thought you were a man. I've had snakes, and they keep that away from me. Yeah, I can't believe, and this is not sexist, but true, more men are afraid of snakes than snakes and spiders and creepy crawlies. More than women. I've seen more women that have creepy crawlers, that's what I call them, because they, I don't know, they're not creepy. They crawl, but I mean, I guess as a kid, I would play to where I would catch toads and frogs and worms and butterflies and caterpillars and baby bunnies, and that was where my mistake was. I got in a lot of trouble for that, but we're not going to talk about that. But my animals make me happy, and in winter with the depression, I make it sound like the depression like back in the day when they didn't have any food, that depression, but that's not it. I lose my appetite, I lose interest in things. And when you go to the doctor, they ask you all this. How are you sleeping? I always say, on my side. They say, are you sleeping? I said, sometimes, but barely. Are you suicidal? I say no, but I'm homicidal. I say, see, I fuck with everybody. Um, how's your mood? Crappy. Because they ask you these questions every fucking time. Have you lost interest in things that you used to be interested in? Yeah. Because I'm not interested in a whole lot. But now, after this video, I have to go and dig up something for supper. And I think I'm just going to throw some chicken in the pressure cooker and throw some soup in there and probably some potatoes and some carrots, because I get rid of some carrots. They're starting to go bad. I said, well, you're supposed to be able to cook collard greens. I got a huge bag. They're for the bearded dragons. And I'm wondering what that's like. I like spinach, cooked and uncooked. Oh, Dave would freak out if I put collard greens in there. He would pick at it so bad. But there's cooking instructions right on the bag. And I know in the South they're popular, just like grits. We had a roommate, and she was black, and she had grits, and she'd eat grits. And I'd be like, wonder what's that like? What's that like? I don't even know if that grammar is right. I don't care, whatever. And so I went and I bought myself a container of grits. And I made some, and I put butter and salt on them. I almost hurled. I ended up throwing the whole thing away because it's just so disgusting. It was like eating sand, and I hate sand. So, yeah, my food horizon has gone out, between the squash and the things like that, the avocados, and I've expanded my horizon. That's what I meant to say. I'm just having one of those days where, leave me the fuck alone, don't talk to me. I just got out of bed 2 hours ago, and I'm still not over that crisis. I wake up and I get on my phone and see if there's anything important on there, and there's usually not. And if there is, I don't care. The doctor didn't call me back yet from yesterday about my test results and stuff, but yeah, I read them. I'm fine. I'm gonna see another day. Boo-hoo. I'm with depression on top of depression. Depression deuce. Depression times 2. I come up with all sorts of names for it because it just fucking sucks. You just don't want to do anything. David's like, can you go and do this? No, I don't care. I don't want to. I don't want to do anything. You just get in a slump, and it lasts for months. I gotta go grocery shopping, and I'm using this as an example. Yeah, I'll just go and check off this, and it's good enough. I give 2 shits about nothing. And then you put me on mood stabilizers, they can jack them up. I'm still gonna be moody. And not stable. Winter's the worst time for me. It really is. Where I don't get outside to get to the sun, and that's been years. Because there's just people. There's people out there. I don't like that. So, we got a new shower head. It's 6 o'clock already. Oh, I cry. Got a new shower head, and you put it on. I think I talked about that. You put it on. Fuck my life. It sprays hard, but I like it because it gets all the soap off me. Gets all the soap out of my hair. David has a heart monitor on him right now, and he can't get it wet or not very wet, so he has to stand with his back toward the shower. And he had to actually end up changing it out because they only gave him 3 extra sticky tapes. I don't know what else you call it. But, well, I hope that you find something, maybe watch some funny YouTube channel videos like mine. It's not really funny. It's really supposed to be informative. But it's hard to be serious when you just don't care, sadly. So I'm gonna go find some grub. I don't feel like it, but I'm gonna, because it's my job. I don't get paid very much. I try to be funny, but when I'm that depressed, it's hard. It's easier to be cranky because that's just what is natural at the time. So I hope you have a good evening, and take your meds. I should talk, but if you have a dog, a cat, an animal, they help. I find that sometimes they really help you, sometimes they're just a real pain in the ass. Now is the time where I'm talking about getting rid of my bearded dragons because I just don't have the drive. But then come spring, I'll want them again. And that's heartbreaking. It's like the cats do this and I yell at them. The dogs, they're chewing on something outside. Every little thing annoys you. And what are you going to do? Maybe if I put my head down, my eyes will look more open. But it just, if you have seasonal depression, talk to your doctor. If you have seasonal depression and bipolar, really talk to your doctor because there are things that they can give you. I have weight. Yeah. I'm still waiting to see what they're going to do. Being down here now and new, I can't wait to see what they do because they don't know me. And that's irritating. So, okay, I'm signing up. Have a good one.